and welcome to the Renville Peninsula on the west coast of Ireland. It's been the lair of a pirate queen and provided the inspiration for many poets and artists. So I wonder what effect this beautiful landscape will have on our artists today. Let's meet them. Ronnie Garvey's first language is Irish. He runs his own laundry in Galway and has 7 children between the ages of 4 and 24. He's only been painting since last October, but it's already become an obsession. Mary Coolan is a physiotherapist from Dublin. Mary has lived and worked in Australia and spent 10 years in Canada before returning to Ireland with her 2 children. Eugene Rooney teaches in a Sligo secondary school, but has taken a sabbatical to complete a course in fine art. He would love to give up the day job and become a professional painter. Their scene is Renville Castle, looking up the coast to, mist permitting, Cropatrick and the mountains of Mayo beyond. Good morning to you all.
Good morning, Hannah. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Very well indeed. Well, with a bit of luck, that sun's going to come out and that mist is going to lift and it's going to be a great day for you. Now, I've got a few lines for you this morning that I think you're all from the West or associated with the West, so I think they might be an inspiration. Oliver St. John Gogarty, who owned Renville House across the way. That's right, Mary,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
He wrote these lines: "There's something sleeping in my breast that wakens only in the West. There's something in the core of me that needs the West to set it free." Well, super.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they do inspire you, so let your talents really run free
Thank you
today
very much.
and have a good time.
Okay.
4 hours, as you know. I'll be back in between to see how you're getting on. Best of luck.
Thank you,
Thank you, Hannah.
Eugene.
My focal point is there's 2 or 3 along there. There's a boat out there in the bay. There's a castle, and there's a house there with a white extension from it. That would be the most focal points on it.
The scene is quite a challenging one. It has a mixture of the castle, which is very much in the foreground, and then in the background a distant mountain, which I'm going to try, if the light lifts, to put in as it's a beautiful shape. There's a large expanse of sea, which I like the shape of between the islands, and I'm going to incorporate that with a good sky, hopefully, if my washes go well.
I want to try and capture what's there before me as accurately as I can, and I think the grid will help me to do that. I'm kind of fascinated by that old building there, and what I'm trying to capture is not only, say, the detail of the castle or the texture of the castle wall, or maybe the mist on the horizon. I'm trying to actually capture the atmosphere of the very day almost. It's a beautiful, calm scene, so I hope to convey that in the final piece of work.
Well, I'm here with Susan Webb, our Irish art expert, all this week in Connemara, and to talk about the challenge. Now, the weather is pretty important in the challenge today, isn't it?
Really all we can see at the moment is mist. So really they have to draw on their experience. They have to remember, or they can draw on their sketchbook information if they have that, or they just imagine it. You know, everybody, you know, sees skies the whole time. In fact, we have some definition of clouds beginning to happen over there. The day is going to change the whole time anyway. It's that sort of a day. So they're going to have to decide early on what they want to capture in their picture and go for it. So I'd make a little sketch, work out what they want, and then stick to that throughout the day.
Terrific. Good advice, as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Watercolour is very easy to use, and you can go back in it any time. I was told you could never go back on watercolours, but you can. You can go back and paint over and over again. You know, it's beautiful to paint with. And then after a while you notice what you've painted, it starts to stretch out a little bit and kind of blends in. Like I have a red sky here where the sun is going down, and now it's beginning to move, you know, over the mountain. It's beginning to look natural.
The sea is very calm today. There isn't a lot of colour, so it'll have to be kind of self-inspiring. I'm going to try and make it a bit more summery, as I'd find that a bit more inspiring because it's a lot of grey. I want to perfect the clarity of my washes and not to overwork, and just to have a translucence about it. It's very difficult to achieve.
I think the tide is actually coming in now, so it's covering up some of the outcrops of rocks. I don't know whether to leave in rocks or take them out. The other thing is there's a good chance that maybe the sun will break through and the colours will change. I'll try and capture the light closer to the end of the picture.
Renville Castle was one of the strongholds of Grace O'Malley, a 16th century pirate known as the Queen of the Western Islands. From here she could spot the English merchant ships coming up from Galway, then set out in her fast galleys to hold them to ransom or to plunder them. Having been declared an outlaw, she then pledged allegiance to Queen Elizabeth I and proceeded to chase and destroy many of the ships of the fleeing Spanish Armada. Deal of concentration going on here, Ronnie. How are you doing?
Good. I was getting there.
You are.
I think this is lovely. I love the sparkle on the sea, and I love the little boat that was there earlier. It's going really nicely. But the little boat is moving along, chugging along, and he's about to hit into the top of the castle. I'd be inclined to move him a bit further up, just so it's obvious that the boat's going to go behind the castle, and then maybe put a bit of darker water in behind so that it sits in behind.
Right, yeah.
This is very nice though, lovely quality there, and with the thick paint that you're using, you can easily go over your marks for the castle there.
Right.
But it's good to have got that colour in too, because there was precious little out there this morning.
I was trying to create the sun going down,
All right.
you know,
yes.
behind the Connemara Mountains.
What is this? Ingenious, not ingenuous, ingenious
That's
piece.
turf.
Is that what you keep your brushes? Did you invent that?
Yeah, I did, because my wife was giving out that there was water everywhere, so what I do is I just dip the water like that and put it up there before I leave it on the table, so now it runs down into the turf.
What a good idea. Brilliant. Anyway, great stuff.
Okay, thanks.
Super.
Okay.
How's Mary doing? Oh, that's nice.
Beautiful clean washes, lovely space, like the composition of your islands out there. Big bold space, it's a bold composition. I'd be inclined to be as bold with your foreground, and I'd bring your castle right up here, so that you really make a bold statement with it.
Move my castle.
Well, is it? What's your focal point?
The castle.
Yeah, I'd definitely move it up, because to have your focal point down in the bottom left-hand corner, your eye goes to the bottom left-hand corner, and you don't really get a chance to travel around the picture then.
Right.
So all the way up to there, I'd do.
You'll have to blow it up like Grace O'Malley.
I think it was easier for her to do that than for me to draw
Because
this.
you know all about this. She actually did, well, not personally, but she caused it to be destroyed.
Apparently she did. History goes that she blew out the side of that castle. Her first husband was from this area, and when she moved away, he died, but she tried to hold on to the land, and she wasn't able to, so she blew it up.
So if she couldn't have it, nobody else was going to have it.
Exactly.
So the motto is, do not mess with Irish women.
Oh yeah, or their castles.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Hannah.
How's Eugene doing?
Hello, Hannah.
Hello, very well.
Hello, Susan.
Wow, this is coming on.
It's been very carefully worked out. All these objects are extremely carefully placed. I see that you've used a grid, so do you have a sketch that you've done it from?
I've actually done the entire sketch on the painting surface.
This line, is this going to be something, or is that
That's
part of
actually
your
quite
grid?
interesting, because that was when the water was out, you could see some rocks in this area here. But since I've drawn that, the tide has risen and that has disappeared. So, but I think it's a nice sort of a compositional.
Lovely, Eugene.
Thank you very much, Hannah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will Ronnie take advice and stop his boat from crashing into his castle? Mary's focal point is the castle. Will she be bold enough to move it? And will the rocks really detract from Eugene's careful composition? Well, 2 hours still to go. And as they say in Ireland, the light has legs. See you after the break.